things that I've picked up from a number of people that I've spoken to in Atlanta over the last few days is that, I've sort of asked the question, from an investor's perspective, what are some of the pitfalls? One of the comments that's come back almost consistently is buying in the wrong area. I think one of the perceptions that a lot of Australians have about Atlanta is it's just this bright sunny city and you can't go wrong here. I'm realising that because it is such a sprawl, because I would say the population is quite integrated and the demographics vary so massively,
sure,
it's almost easier to go wrong in this market than in other markets. What's your view on that? I mean, how do you prevent buying the wrong property?
Well, that's an excellent point, just because we've seen investors come in through other organizations and they bought, and because Atlanta is so diverse and the demographics do vary so greatly, you have to be very careful, because what may be great on one street up may not be so good. If you buy that property, it looks really pretty in the pictures, but you're a world away clicking around on the internet. You may not see what we see when you drive up the property. And I'm sorry, but you can get on Google Maps and do a 360 view. That doesn't tell you enough. You need to know what it is. If you buy a house that looks great, it's a great price, it's too good of a price, it might be too good of a price for a reason, and you're in the middle of a ghetto, or you're in an area that's not going to be an ideal location. So, we've sort of I've lived here my whole life, so I've been able to see the development of the city over the years, and to stay away from areas and to go to areas that are going to be good. Because if you buy in an area like that, it's not to say that you can't rent it out, but if you buy in an area like that, you're going to attract a renter or a tenant that's probably going to be an undesirable, and cause you more damage to the property in their tenancy than they should. So it's key and very paramount to buy in the right areas. Those are the things that we look for. And you can do all the things in your due diligence and research on the internet, like just checking different neighborhood profiles and demographics, but nothing helps like having somebody here that just knows
Absolutely.
the area.
Yeah. I mean, my experience, having invested, since 2008 in the US, is that what you read, what you see, what you hear often doesn't correlate to what you feel when you actually walk through a house, when you walk through a neighborhood. So, I think it's a really important point. And Atlanta, more than any other city, I feel if you're not working with people who know what they're doing, it's very easy to buy in the wrong areas. Right,
and then at the end of it all, you bought a house in a bad area. It's fixed up, looks nice, and if should the client or investor come look at it, maybe I'm happy, because a good deal isn't always a good deal. You have to look at the big picture.
Exactly.